Hello and welcome back to Crypto's News avec votre compère Omar. Je m'appelle Crypto. My name is Crypto. Welcome back with your host, Crypto. And I would like to thank everyone for watching the last video, even though it was terrible. For some reason, my new camera started glitching out in the middle of the video. I watched the beginning and the end of it after finishing it, and I thought, okay, it's cool. It works. It worked fine. And then after uploading it, I began to receive comments that it wasn't working out so hot. So my sincere apologies. I got home and the whole video file had got corrupted, not even after I just uploaded to YouTube. So hopefully this one turns out all right, but I'm excited to share a bit of news. I'm gonna get right into it with you guys. So the first thing I wanna talk about is Erik Voorhees. He's the CEO of Shapeshift. Shapeshift is a company, Shapeshift.io, that will exchange one cryptocurrency for another really easily. So they give you an address when you generate a transaction, right? You go to the website and you say, I want to turn Bitcoin into Ether. So what you do is you just go to the website and you put in Bitcoin, input Bitcoin, receive Ether. It'll generate an address for you to send your Bitcoin to, and it'll ask you where you want the Ether to go. And then it'll do the exchange for you really, really easily. They have a lot of different tokens on there, and you pay a small fee. But, the reason I wanted to talk about Shapeshift is because Erik Voorhees has been the subject of controversy after going on Twitter and saying that he now reserves some Ether to use as payment, since Bitcoin is either delayed or too expensive. And he also wrote a blog post to go into detail about why he said that and supporting what he said. And he also went on to say, you know, it's not bad to pay a 74-cent transaction fee if you're moving $400 worth of Bitcoin, right? If you're just moving it to an exchange or whatever. 74 cents doesn't seem that much, but if you're just trying to send some Bitcoin to your friend to pay some coffee or whatever it is, and it's a $7 transaction, you're paying 74 cents, that's pretty significant. So that's the issue with these higher fees, even though they're going to the miners and all this stuff. Plus, it takes time to figure out exactly what a fair transaction fee should be, because smart fee systems aren't very advanced yet, according to his blog post. But yeah, I mean, Ethereum continues to be a substitute for a lot of people who become frustrated with certain things that happen surrounding Bitcoin. So that continues to be the case. So yeah, besides that, I wanted to talk about a gentleman called Nikolai Mushegian. Nikolai Mushegian, who is the head of security at DAppHub, a website that works on creating smart contracts for whatever. So you want to hire the company to create a smart contract on Ethereum that will pay all of your employees 1 Ether every Friday the 13th. You contact DAppHub and they help you out with that. But the chief of security there is well renowned and hired by Chronobank recently, and he's well renowned because he was the guy who saved MakerDAO, a certain smart contract platform, let's say, from the same fate as the DAO, which was a company that was, well, it was a decentralized company being built on Ethereum that had a lot of little functions and things that allowed people to fundraise for different projects, but a lot of money poured into it, and an exploit was discovered, a recursive exploit that allowed one hacker to exploit it. Some people were saying he's a hacker. He's not. He just found an issue that was already there, right? So that's debatable. But the point is, this gentleman, Nikolai Mushegian, found that the MakerDAO had the same issue and saved the MakerDAO from having the same hacking or exploit fate as the DAO, which suffered greatly from that exploit, and the whole Ethereum community suffered afterwards. So the fact that Nikolai was able to see this gives him a lot of credibility, and the fact that he's been hired by Chronobank, who has 2 days left of their ICO, of their crowd sale, is great. And they're hoping to have him vet the whole security process, the whole labor hour and time token process for the release by the end of the crowd sale date, February 14th. So yeah, look out for that. Looks like I only have 10 minutes in this video, so let me go ahead and hurry up. The other thing I want to talk about is Dubai. So Dubai has been meeting with different companies due to their future growth accelerator and blockchain companies. They hope to have, they said, by 2020 to be the first government to use blockchain for all transactions and payments. So that's pretty crazy. Transactions, they said. And they're talking a lot to Consensus, who is a company that builds dApps or decentralized applications specifically for Ethereum. And that's a very positive thing that's going on, as Joseph Lubin has been posting about that, and he is the head of Consensus and the creator of Ethereum, along with Vitalik, one of the two major ones. So that's pretty neat. The other thing I wanted to mention, if you guys haven't heard, is that Airbnb has been putting out these commercials. Airbnb has been putting out these commercials, and Airbnb is really cool. It allows you to rent out your apartment to a certain person on a certain date, for those of you guys who don't know or might not have that available in your country. So it allows you to sell, like kind of Uber, to monetize your home if you're going to be renting out the space or whatever in an easy fashion. So they have been putting out all these sorts of medias talking about how they are accepting of all individuals regardless of color, skin tone, discrimination, around the world. You know, we're all one. So they've been putting out these ads, and they've also been asking, what is the feature you would like to see Airbnb do the most coming up? And the most frequent one of the most frequent ones that keeps coming up is Bitcoin as a payment. So they still don't accept Bitcoin on Airbnb, but it looks like users demand for it. So we could really see that Bitcoin, if listened to by the Airbnb heads, could become a payment system for Airbnb, which is great because it does allow for internationalization of payment toward Airbnb across the world instead of using whatever fiat currencies it is. I think it's a great step toward less discrimination and internationalization. So I think that's cool, and I hope that they move forward. It looks like they're actually listening to the community and looking to do that. And the other thing I wanted to mention is, if you are an individual who, like myself, constantly goes to the IRS tax refund site to see when you're going to get your refund, if it's been processed yet or when it's being due and all that thing. It turns out that there are delays because there was a law passed at the end of 2015 that meant that if you filed for a child tax credit or an earned income tax credit, that there was going to be delayed till at least February 15th, with payments really beginning to go out February 27th. So we've seen that there are 78% income tax refunds sent out so far by the beginning of this month, due to the delay that's been passed by Congress in order to stop fake fraudulent tax preparations and the like. So yeah, I mean, if you're waiting and you constantly keep checking, you should be aware that's probably the reason. And you know, it's cool on a side note to see that a lot of money, I'm sure, from that is going to enter cryptocurrency. I myself had the choice to finance my car yesterday, and I could have put a down payment, but it wouldn't have changed my interest, according to the financier. So what I did was I just put nothing down and decided, even though I was going to put down like $4 grand, originally was my plan, instead of putting $4 grand down, I'm just gonna put that into cryptocurrency. So I'm channeling that money into cryptocurrency, taking advantage of these low interest rates while they last, thanks to the US government suppressing them. Yes. Anyway, I also wanted to mention that if you are into games and you like horror games, I'm playing probably the scariest game of all time. I hate the game so bad, but I swear that game is like haunted. Like, the AI in that game is just so smart. And, you know, weird stuff happens in my house when I'm playing, even with the lights on. My girlfriend noticed. And so I'm playing Alien Isolation. And if you'd like to check that out, go ahead and check the description so you can go to my gaming channel and join me on my quest to finish that game for the second time. I'm excited to share with you guys. I've already done like 7 videos, I think 6, 7 videos. So check that out if you want to get up to speed. Subscribe to my gaming channel if you like that kind of stuff. And I'm going to try to be more consistent on that channel as well. So that's something I like to do for fun. I've been a gamer forever. That's what really got me into technology and, you know, games. And we all learned about torrents that way. I was using torrents before anybody knew what a torrent was. I think in 2001 was the first time I learned about torrents and cracking and all that kind of fun stuff. So, yeah, keep it peachy. Subscribe, hit like, comment. Thank you for the donation. The person who sent me $50 worth of Bitcoin. You know who you are. Much love and take care, guys. Crypto out.